The Girl Who Spoke to the Forest, Part 1. Long ago, in a village surrounded by a forest no one dared to enter, people believed the trees could hear secrets. Yes, secrets. The kind people hide even from their own families. But one day, something happened that changed the village forever. A young girl walked into that forest. And when she returned, she was no longer the same. Some people say the forest chose her. Others believe she stole something that was never meant for humans. But the truth was far more dangerous. In the peaceful village of Akano, life moved slowly and simply. Farmers woke before sunrise to tend their crops. Women filled the marketplace with laughter, bargaining over baskets of yams, peppers, and palm oil. Children ran freely through dusty paths, chasing goats and playing beneath the mango trees. But when the sun began to set, everything changed. Doors were shut. Fires were lit. And parents called their children inside. Because beyond the village stood a place everyone feared. A place known as the Whispering Forest. No hunter dared to enter it. No child played near its edge. And after dark, no one even spoke its name. The elders believed the forest was ancient, older than the village, older than the kings who once ruled the land. They said spirits lived within the trees. And those spirits did not welcome visitors. But there was one person in Akano who did not fear the forest. A quiet girl named Adana. Adana was different from the other children. While the boys wrestled in the sand, and the girls played with clay dolls, Adana often sat quietly, listening to the wind. Sometimes she would stare at the forest for hours, watching the tall trees sway slowly, as if they were breathing. One afternoon her mother, Mama Ifenanya, noticed her standing near the path that led toward the forest. "Adana," she called firmly. "Come away from there." Adana turned slowly. "Mama, can you hear it?" "Hear what?" her mother asked. "The forest," Adana whispered. "It's calling." Her mother's face tightened with fear. She grabbed Adana's hand and pulled her away. "Child," she warned softly. "Curiosity is the door through which trouble enters." But deep inside, Adana felt something pulling her toward the forest. Something familiar. Almost like a voice she had heard before. One warm afternoon, Adana chased a bright yellow butterfly through the tall grass near the village edge. The butterfly fluttered closer and closer, until it reached the dark entrance of the Whispering Forest. Adana hesitated. The wind suddenly blew through the trees. The leaves rustled softly, almost like whispering. Then the butterfly disappeared between the branches. Adana stepped forward. Just one step. Then another. And slowly, she disappeared into the forest. At first, no one noticed. But when night arrived and Adana did not return home, panic spread across the village. Mama Ifenanya screamed her daughter's name through the streets. Her father, Okeke, gathered the hunters. They lit torches and walked toward the forest. But the deeper they went, the colder the air became. The trees grew taller, darker. And then they heard it. Whispers. Soft voices drifting through the trees. Not the wind. Not animals. Voices. Whispering names. The hunters froze. One voice sounded like a mother. Another like a child. Then suddenly, one of the hunters dropped his torch. "I heard my dead brother," he shouted. Fear exploded among them. One by one, they ran, leaving the forest behind, leaving Adana somewhere inside. 3 days passed. The village mourned. Many believed Adana was gone forever. But on the third morning, a small figure appeared at the village entrance. It was Adana. She walked slowly, barefoot, her clothes dusty, but her body unharmed. Mama Ifunanya ran toward her daughter, crying with relief. Okeke fell to his knees, thanking the ancestors. But the villagers noticed something strange. Adana's eyes had changed. They looked older, darker, as if she had seen things no child should ever see. People surrounded her, asking questions. What happened? Where did you go? What did you see? Adana looked at them quietly. Then she spoke. Just one sentence. The forest knows all your secrets. After Adana returned, strange things began happening in Akano. Sometimes she would look at someone and say something no one else could possibly know. One day she pointed at a farmer named Baba Sadiq. You stole your brother's land, she said calmly. The marketplace went silent. Because it was true. Another day she looked at a quiet woman named Mama Busy. You poisoned your husband. Mama Busy collapsed in fear. Because that too was true. Secret after secret began pouring out. Lies. Hidden crimes. Things buried for years. Soon people stopped looking at Adana. They avoided her. Because they were afraid. Afraid she might reveal their secrets too. Whispers began spreading across Akano. Some people said Adana had become a witch. Others said a forest spirit had possessed her. Even the elders grew uneasy. Finally, the village chief, Chief Adeyemi, called a gathering beneath the great baobab tree. This girl is dangerous, he declared. If the forest gave her this power, then the forest must take it back. Fear had already poisoned the minds of the villagers. So they agreed. Adana must return to the forest. Forever. That night, the villagers led Adana to the entrance of the Whispering Forest. Her mother cried endlessly. Her father begged the chief to reconsider. But fear is stronger than kindness. Chief Adeyemi stepped forward. Child, he said firmly. Whatever spirit you brought from that forest must go back. Adana looked at them calmly. Then she said something that made everyone freeze. You think the forest gave me power? She slowly turned toward the dark trees. But the forest did not give me anything. The wind suddenly rose. Leaves began shaking violently. Adana whispered softly. The forest sent me. At that moment, the trees began to move. Branches bent as if something massive was pushing through them. And from deep inside the forest, heavy footsteps began walking toward the village. Something enormous was coming. And it was coming for them. To be continued in part 2, please like and subscribe.